Hey everyone, Bensley here with week 9 of the Search for a Budget Gem, the series where I roll dice to pick a random game that costs under $10. This week I rolled a 96 and landed on Puzzle Puppers, a puzzle game in which you need to stretch out your dogs in order to reach their food dishes. When you start the game, you'll notice that there are 80 different puzzles to complete. At the puzzle select screen, they are arranged in sets of 5. You'll need to 3-star the first 4 puzzles in order to unlock the 5th. The rest of the puzzles are also locked, but you unlock them as you play. I'm assuming that they unlock depending on how many stars you have, but there's no indication of that in the UI. The puzzles are on grid-based islands in an isometric view, and you will move the dogs square by square to reach their food dishes. If you just reach the food dish, you'll earn 1 star, but there are also pieces of meat spread out over the islands that you'll need to collect if you want to 3-star the puzzle. The puzzles start out pretty easy, having only 1 or 2 dogs to deal with, and the maps are pretty straightforward, but they'll eventually have up to 6 dogs and have a couple obstacles to deal with. So what kind of obstacles are there? There are waterways that, if stepped in, will stretch out the dog to the end of it. There are holes that will warp your stretched out dog to another hole. There are also extra food dishes to try and trick you into figuring out which one is the one you want. And then there's the dogs themselves. Since the dogs cannot pass through themselves or others, you'll need to figure out a path that works. Thankfully, your moves are not set when you make them, and you can just press a button to undo the move. You'll be doing that a lot as you figure these puzzles out through trial and error. The art in the game is very cute and colorful. The sound effects are minimal, but not much is needed for a puzzle game like this. When you get a dog to their dish, they immediately start chowing down, and the sound of that would bring a smile to my face every now and then. The music is the same track throughout the game. It is a calming track that's perfect for a laid-back puzzle game like this. A couple of things that could have been improved upon are mostly on the UI side. First of all, the D-pad doesn't work. That's fine for the puzzles since you're working in an isometric view, but in the menus, my mind is always set to use the D-pad. When you 3-star a set, it sends you right back to the level select without saying something like, a new puzzle is unlocked. I was confused as to why this was happening until it finally clicked. And then when you 3-star all the levels, there's no congratulations. It's basically just right back to the level select again. These are all pretty minor things, but they would have been nice if added. There's also a swastika level. That's no good. I'm quite sure nothing is meant by it, but usually you try to avoid having something like that in any work you do. For $4.99, this is a pretty good puzzle game. It gave me a few hours of fun. A lot of the puzzles were fairly easy, but there were several that I would have to take a break from and get back to with a clear mind. A couple of the puzzles will look like they're impossible, but once you figure out how to play with the game's mechanics, they become a little easier. If you like puzzle games and are looking for something new to keep you occupied for a few hours, this game is worth the $5. If you like dogs, even better. With its cute graphics, I can see this also being a great game for kids that like puzzle games. If this looks like a game that you might be interested in, there's also a demo available in the eShop. So that's my review of Week 9's game, Puzzle Puppers. If you have any questions about the game, leave a comment and I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit those like and share buttons. If you want to see more of this series, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well, and I'll get a new video to you all each week. You can also check out my website for some spotlights on some other games throughout the week, www.bensleyreviews.com. If you have any feedback on how I can improve, please also leave a comment and I'll see what I can do. Thank you all for tuning in. Now enjoy some more gameplay.